welcome back to this week's episode of AMA Friday with Amy Miller, recruiting in yoga pants. So let's just jump right in. I got a lot to say about this topic. I want to dig into just some things to think about when you have been rejected by a company. And specifically what I mean is if a company has said no thank you at whatever point of the process, does it make sense to just blacklist them for the rest of your career? This is sometimes some of the, guidance, if you will, over on the interwebs, where people will say, job seekers, I've seen coaches say this, I've seen, all kinds of people weighing in on this. And a lot of the feedback is, well, if they don't want me, I'll never consider them again. Okay. I want to unpack that with you a little bit. I really do, because for me, that feels short-sighted. I'm just being transparent with you. I am putting myself in the job seeker shoes right now, and I feel like that is maybe a little bit of an emotional knee-jerk reaction. Let me explain, okay? Before you get mad at me, let me walk you through a story here. So, y'all know I work for a ginormous company. You can go check out on LinkedIn, see where I work. And this is not my first rodeo with these fine folks, okay? So, all the way back in the late aughts, maybe 09, 2010, something like that, I was contacted by a recruiter at my now employer. And she had found my resume on a job board or something and wanted to see if I would be open to an internal recruiting position. At that point, my experience was all agency. I'd been an agency recruiter for many years, over a decade. I had just moved into a workforce counselor role, employment counselor with the state of Washington, which I did for a couple of years. And I was broke. The government does not pay great. I was digging out of, having been unemployed for a period of time, and it was tough. So I got that call. Y'all, I gotta tell you, I was pretty excited because I was like, holy cow, I could be a big kid in a real company. So I was pretty stoked, and I'm like, oh yeah, I would definitely consider, this. And she said, okay, great, do the recruiter phone screen thing. And she said, I'm going to share your background and info with the hiring manager. I'll let you know if they're interested. Y'all, they were not interested. Okay. I kind of don't blame them, in hindsight. But basically it came down to the feedback, which I'm really grateful that she shared. But the feedback was this person, me, hasn't done any internal corporate recruiting. That's true. That is true at the time. I still got salty about it. Oh my God, I've recruited for lots of companies. You know about what, I had one of those moments. And, it sucked. There was no changing their mind. They didn't want to interview me. They didn't see the value in my expertise at that time. Nothing I can do about that. It happens, right? So I was a little salty, but, whatever. Life goes on. Fast forward another, year and a half, and get a call again. Same company, different recruiter. And this time around, it was for a contract to hire position. So it was, I think it was in recruiting for HR, and it was, a completely different role than the one a couple years prior. Go through the process, do the interview, all that, get an offer. Now, at the same time, I was interviewing at Microsoft, contract to hire, same concept, same basic idea. The offers came in at the same time. The offers were pretty neck and neck as far as, compensation and all that. And I ended up going to Microsoft. Okay. So that time I turned down them. Okay. Glad I did. Microsoft was very, very good to me for many years, and I'm so grateful for my time there. While I'm at Microsoft, now keep in mind, this is after I've been rejected at the recruiter screen stage, turned down an offer, contract offer, but still an offer, Now the third time this company tries to get in touch with me, they now want to interview me again for a full-time role. I don't remember the business group, some kind of recruiter gig, hiring engineers or something. Great. Do that in my sleep, no problem. Exactly what I'm doing at Microsoft. This is good. Let's go. Go through the interview, do the whole thing. I walked out of there like, I got this. I'm qualified. I'm smart. I nailed those questions. How am I going to turn them down? Because I don't really want to leave Microsoft. Or what if I do? What if they give me a really great offer? And you go through all these emotions, right? And you start decorating the house in your mind. You start thinking like, it's mine. I've got this job and I'm going to do these things. And then you don't get the job. That was hard. That was hard because, like many of you, I was just left wondering what happened. I didn't get feedback. I didn't get, that's the policy. I get it. I suffer with that as a recruiter. I can't give feedback and it sucks. But if I had allowed that chip on my shoulder to kind of settle in, y'all, I wouldn't be in the job I have today. So what happened was, obviously I got rejected. Okay, that stinks. Stayed with Microsoft, clearly, because nobody else wanted me. And ended up, going to Google after that and never really thought that this company was going to call me again. I thought, gosh, well, 3 times now and hasn't worked yet, so I should probably just give up, I guess, right? Until I got a call from a good friend of mine telling me about this amazing new business group, and she's just joined the company and loves it, and it's so different than what she expected and all the good stuff. Amy, you should interview. I don't know, friend. I mean, there's my history with this company. I don't think they like me. I don't know what kind of notes are in the system. You know what I'm saying? And I was really apprehensive about it. And she said, well, just throw your hat in the ring. Like, what's the worst that could happen? You get rejected. We're recruiters. We get rejected every day. Come on now. All right, fine. So I have a conversation with her boss. I fall in love. She's wonderful. The team sounds great. The work sounds super cool. And y'all, I don't think I ever wanted a job so bad in my life. Thankfully, thank you, Jesus, this time, it worked. This 4th attempt at talking to this company was the right role. I was the right candidate, and all the stars just aligned just so that they made an offer that was great, and the timing, just everything worked. And so I've shared all that with you. That's a really lengthy story, I know, but I shared all that with you because I cannot stress enough that unless there are serious ethical concerns or major deal breakers, I'm going to ask you to not just blanket blacklist a company that didn't work out in the past. So I was very excited about the guest bed. Okay? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay, with very, very large companies in particular, you are going to find that roles can vary greatly from business group to business group. Your particular set of expertise, skills, and superpowers might be exactly what Team A needs, even if Team B doesn't. You will have a completely different competition in, role A versus role B. There are so many variables at these large companies, including the biggest variable of all, which is you, my friend. You're not the same employee you were 5 years ago. I'm not the same recruiter I was 10 years ago. I've grown a lot. I've learned so much about strategy and just all kinds of, the stuff I geek out on. We've talked about it before on the channel. So it absolutely makes sense to me that even though this company wasn't right for me, or I wasn't right for them, however you want to put it, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 3 years ago, thank God 2 years ago, someone saw the potential. And thank God I trusted my friend and I took that leap of faith to be rejected one more time because I knew it was coming. But I got the offer instead. And I can honestly say, y'all, and this is really the key thing I want you to take home, okay? I am living my dream right now. I'm doing some of the coolest work I ever thought I could get to do. I'm working with some of the smartest and most interesting and funniest people. We're doing something that is literally world-changing. And if I had said, no, that company turned me down, I'm never going back there, I would have missed out on something amazing. Okay? That's all. I want you to think about it. I want you to, yes, companies have cooling off periods. We have a video about that. Yes, you absolutely should decide, is this a place I could see myself, do my ethics, do my, experiences, do my, does this resonate with me? Yes, of course you need to make those decisions. I'm just asking you, don't make a blanket reject decision based on who you were or what the role was years ago. Okay? That's it. So hopefully I left y'all with some food for thought this week. Kind of a weird personal bent to this week's video, but hopefully it's given you some things to think about as you're going through your dream job list or target company list. And as always, if you have questions, comments, words of concern, drop them down below. I read them all. You can also email me, amy@recruitinginyogapants.com, and we will see you next week.